So my name is Tiago, I'm the CEO at All In Global. Just before I start, I want to debunk a myth. Yesterday, I met many of you, and I was told that because of my mustache, it looks like I work for the adult industry. Uh, despite the name All In, we specialize in iGaming. Yeah, so that's all we do. So, the things here. So all we do is actually iGaming. So the future of iGaming content. Um, it's not like I'm a fortune teller. I don't really have a ball that tells me the future. But from our experience, we've been in the markets from 2008, and we provide language services and language technology for iGaming exclusively. So there's a thing or two that we know about the trends in this. So if you think about this, like in the past, newsrooms will be filled with smoke and people typing away in typewriters. Nowadays, AI does the drafts, and then the reporters or the people that handle the news would actually do some research and they would edit those drafts. Same goes for stock trading, for example. Before usual environment in a trading environment, people shouting, buying stuff, whatever. Nowadays, the algorithm does the trades, and people set the strategies and manage the risks. So, what is the iGaming content challenge? And I promise that I'll try to stick to 15 minutes, Farouk. So there's high content in multiple languages. Like most of you would work with, your operators, affiliates, or even in the industry, and you understand this. There's full integrations between multiple systems as well. Like we need to integrate our content with multiple systems and make sure it's fast to go to markets. We don't need to exchange heavy files and lose time in copy pasting stuff. Need for accuracy and speed as well while maintaining quality. And this is a challenge when it comes to accuracy, speed, and quality. Consistency across the board. And then this quality versus risk. Like we started this business in 2008, and we know that it's very easy to go to any platform like DeepL or Google Translate or a large language model nowadays, throw everything in there and say translate this into many languages. But there are risks involved because most of the time, you guys speak what, 2-3 languages at most. Paloma was somewhere here. She speaks like 7, because I was speaking with her before. But there is a risk, right? You don't know what's being translated. You have no idea if large language model hallucinated or you cannot control it. So you always need at least a human to revise it. And there are bottlenecks as well. I think the world is our bottleneck because we speak so many languages and so many cultures. But there's a bunch of texts we need to, and I'm focusing more on written content, by the way. So acquisition, product UX, promos, responsible, so compliance, payments, support, CRM, affiliates and B2B content, social and community, education, onboarding. So all of this content, most of it needs to be translated in multiple markets. We have clients that work with 35, 40 markets. They send us stuff every day to translate. They, plug in with our API and there's, you can see millions of words being translated and sent back to them. And there are some pain points. The volume overload, really hard to manage. If you have a team in-house managing all this volume, you need a lot of people. Turnaround pressure. You want to launch games fast, right? You want to go to market in 30 markets. You want to launch them tomorrow. And usually, guys, when some people reach out to us, hey, by the way, we have these 3 million words to translate and we want to launch by Friday and it's Thursday. And, usually localization is kind of forgotten in the process. So you focus on developing the game, which is fair. It's your core, develop the games. And then it's like, oh, oops, I have to launch this in 30 markets. So I need someone to actually translate this professional for me. And then the complexity in regulations as well. Some regulations actually demand for the translations to be ISO certified. We have ISO certifications, so you can actually use them. And then the lack of consistency. It is very important. If you have a user that goes to your games or website and you have inconsistent terms, say that you translate the same word in multiple ways, and this is possible. Like I'm Portuguese, there are several ways of translating the same word or saying the same thing. You need consistency. So why is this a bottleneck? Human-only workflows are usually expensive, right? And slow. Like, a few years ago, a human would translate 3,000-4,000 words a day. Another human would revise another 4,000 to 5,000 words a day. I mean, if you have volumes, this is really hard to manage. And then, as I mentioned before, generic large language models or translation platforms will not give you the consistency that you need. So there's risky output. And also, post-editing everything that a machine does nowadays with what we do is also unnecessary. There are efficiencies that we can give you. And then you lose context. So a little bit of an evolution. So the first trainable neural network, which was what originated large language models and everything, was created in 1957. That was a long time ago. And if you think about it, the first one that was actually for translations came up in 2013. So can you see how many years I had to go through for it to actually be able to translate? And then we've created our first neural machine translation engine in 2018 at All In Global. It was available in 25 languages. We partnered up with a tech provider and we created them for iGaming, so specialized in iGaming. And then go November 2022, GPT 3.5 comes out, massive adoption. People were, there's the large adoption of technology, and then people was like, oh, well, this is amazing, but for translation, this language not very good. And but we were already prepared from 2018 because we were handling AI and neural machine translation engines. So it was pretty easy for us to adapt and to build on top of large language models. And this is what we did. So 2023, we launched the first version of Craig. Craig is our translation platform that is specialized for iGaming and customized per client. So think about it as a large language model on steroids, or like with a PhD in linguistics. It's a pro iGaming translator that you can actually trust. And today we have the second version of Craig, which has a new function that I'm going to tell you about, which is an important function as well. So before, everything translated by human, then eventually machine translations. So speed and accuracy dilemma. It's like I can have it fast, but it's not going to be perfect. And then the human in the loop system. So humans are not only translating anymore. The role of humans in the process is different nowadays. This is a graph that shows you actually revenue from our company. So you can see the full human workflow, growing, but then the AI assisted workflow actually overpassed the demand for human workflow last year. It was 52% against 48%. The first year we had that actually AI was more utilized. So how do we balance the AI automation with the human expertise? So for you to have an idea how the process actually goes. So first, we customize it per client. Say that you have, you need your translations in 30 markets. We will customize the engines for you with your terminology, with your preferences, with everything you want, the brand tone and whatnot. Then we will translate it using a neural machine translation engine. And there's a first layer of post-editing, which is automated. So what it does is that through RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation, the large language model goes and does an automated edit of the translation in 40 languages available now. And then there is the quality estimation tool. And this is the game changer. So think about this. Before, humans do 100% of the job. Now AI does the heavy lifting. But with our quality estimation tool, we can estimate the quality of every sentence. And we can tell our platform saying, this sentence is good, can be published. This sentence is not good, needs to be checked. So what does it represent? Savings. Because all of a sudden, you don't need to edit everything with a human. You need to edit 30, 40, 50% depending on the job. So cost efficiency. And then there's a human post-editing in the segments that actually need a human to go through it. We have a series of integrations. We also have an API. And it breaks the bottleneck, Craig, because humans intervene only when necessary. Also, there's higher consistency and quality and lower costs and faster turnaround. So this is just for you to understand like how the role of the traditional translator has evolved over the years. And right now, a translator is not a translator per se anymore. So, the first image I showed you with a typewriter, a guy like in the library with his glasses translating away, they are now the ones that actually customize the models. They are the ones that post-edit the translations. They are the engineers behind everything. And we have a team professionals behind all of this. We have a quality assurance team, a project management team. We work with over 200 translators and revisors. So where are we going next? So the future, like the fortune telling. Um, it's an hybrid and fully integrated. This is our vision. So the translation localization is an hybrid model where humans intervene when necessary, either building the machine that translates or editing it, and also fully integrated with your systems. So through an API, there's in the future, very near future, there will not be the need to exchange as many files, to have everything in spreadsheets, HTML files, JSON, whatever. It can be integrated through our API. So we believe that the combination of AI plus human is the winning formula for few things. Engagement. So your players will be more engaged. There's going to be consistency everywhere. They will understand the exact message you want to put across. For acquisition as well, you reach more people, you'll acquire more players, and also retain them. So if the player feels that you are localizing it for them, like say that you have a Brazilian player, if you have your casino in Portuguese from Portugal, they will not play. They will not spend their money there. Same goes for the Spanish-speaking world. It needs to be localized for the country you're in, right? They need to feel that was done for them. And decision makers, what changes for you? So faster market entry, lower compliance risk, global brand consistency, and also more locales without increasing the headcount on your side, or also paying for that increased headcount on your service provider. I tried 15 minutes. I think I managed. Yeah. Oof, thank you. Thank you very much.